In this edition of Word Battles, we're going to be looking at the word fewer versus the word less. When indicating that a quantity is smaller than a comparator, fewer and less are often confused with one another and used interchangeably. However, they do not serve the same purpose. For example, we might say less time, but then we would say fewer minutes. In both instances, we're talking about time, but we'll use the alternate words in each of them for very distinct reasons. Therefore, to ensure that you use both appropriately, it's important to consider how each should be used and the rules surrounding their use. The word fewer is used as a diminutive, that is to show something is smaller, when discussing something countable, something that you can count. Here we have an example with 1, 2, and 3 cups of chai. Now, if I have the nasty habit of drinking 3 or more cups of chai a day, I might say to myself that I should drink fewer cups of chai each day. In this instance, I'm talking about something I can count: 1, 2, 3 cups of chai. Inversely, we might say that with fewer baristas, we have to work harder. In this instance, we have 2 baristas. We can count that, 1, 2, and perhaps the shift normally has 4 baristas. So if we have fewer countable baristas, then we would use the word fewer to describe that. And hopefully those folks aren't working too hard, and hopefully the folks procuring the services are patient with the baristas. Now, the word less is also a diminutive, which again is to show that something is smaller, and it's used in 2 specific instances. First, the word less can be used when comparing things that are uncountable. This might be conceptual phenomena such as love, motivation, anger, phenomena that can't be measured and counted in a traditional or scientific manner. Second, it's also used for amounts that are measured in volume. When speaking to something that is uncountable, we might say that Tim Hortons chai has less flavor than the Starbucks chai. And in this context, we are talking about something that is uncountable, that can't be counted. Taste cannot be counted. It is a conceptual phenomenon. And therefore, rather than using the word fewer, we will use the word less because it is something that cannot be counted. Alternately, when we're talking about volume, we might say that there is less coffee in a grande cup than in a venti cup. In this instance, we're talking about volume, we're not counting. So because we're using volume, we are going to use less, because less is used when we're speaking about things comparatively that are measured in volume. We won't use fewer in this context. Let's do a quick summary. Fewer and less are both diminutives, which is to say that they are used to describe something in comparison that is less or fewer than something else. Fewer is used for comparisons of things that are countable. So anytime we can count something, the number of cookies, the number of cups of chai, then we'll use the word fewer to indicate something is smaller. In contrast, the word less is used in 2 specific instances. We'll use it when discussing anything that is uncountable. The example that we had was taste or flavor, but it might be something like love or motivation. It's also used when we're speaking about things and comparing things that are measured in volume, such as how much coffee is in a cup. Hopefully that provides clarity to you as to when you should use the word fewer and when you should use the word less. If there's any confusions, if there's any questions that you have, drop them in the comment section below and we'll do our very best to get to them as soon as possible. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.